The new teaser of Arcane just changed everything, or at least it could. So I was scrolling down my feed when I saw that Arcane just dropped a new clip from the second season called Stealth Mission. I clicked on it, and to my surprise, we got something there that we didn't get in the first season. And it got me thinking, would it be a good kind of change or would it be a problematic one? The clip itself revolved around Heimerdinger and Ekko, a pairing that a lot of fans were excited about last season. They were sneaking into the academy in Piltover, and the part that actually made it funny was that Heimerdinger is actually the founder and is still technically the highest authority of the academy. So, he can basically just walk in with Ekko through the front door. But what we get is the duo bypassing all the guards and using secret passages at night, and Heimerdinger sneaking around in a very slapstick style. Okay, so relative to Arcane and its image and tone, we didn't really get a lot of that during the first season. You see, the first season was a grimdark masterpiece. Its tone and visual styling perfectly encapsulated the contrast between the city of Piltover and the Undercity. There were almost no moments that we could say was actually a light break from its overall tone. Instead, what we got was a season where the characters stood in their despair and loss. For our part, we as the audience loved seeing them in that state because it was a reflection of how life rarely works out the way we want it to, or at least how we perceive it to be. I think the best way to describe it is that it was cathartic in many ways. In fact, it was as heart-wrenching as it was addictive. Some comments on internet forums even said that they got depressed after watching the season. Was it too much? Well, maybe a bit, yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to give some outcomes of what this change could result in, but I actually doubt if you'll reach the end of this video because my retention is pretty low, so I don't know how many of you make it to the end. Anyway, if you do, I hope you can leave me some of your feedback or takes because I'm genuinely curious on what your thoughts are. Now, this clip, this 1 minute and 18-second clip, seems to be showing how things are going to change for the second season. It's a clip that brings some levity to the series, and by releasing this kind of clip, it's like the writers and creators are telling us to expect more of these kinds of moments in the upcoming season that's dropping in November. Now, with all that out of the way, I want to ask you, do you really think that we need that kind of change in this season? Do we really want moments of humor injected into this grimdark series that's been pretty successful omitting it in the first place? I ask you this because Ella Purnell, the voice of Jinx, was recently interviewed and her words do not bring an ounce of comfort for the ending. In fact, it seems that the audience will be left devastated and at the same time wanting more, much like the first season. Now, if we want these kinds of moments in the show, it could result into two wildly different outcomes. The first outcome is that because we have these moments of levity, we will have breaks from the tension that the characters are experiencing. Timing these well would actually be better in the long run because we won't feel as emotionally drained. This also has the effect of breaking the tension just enough that when the hard times hit again, it will actually hit harder and the effect will be more impactful. Simply put, we'll have a better paced show with a lot more impact. However, that does beg the question, what if it isn't executed well? Well, what will happen then is that these moments of levity will become annoying cuts from the actual story. It will have the opposite effect of alleviating the emotional tension and instead cause annoyance. It will actually break you out of the story. It will break the immersion that the first season naturally commanded of you and instead have the Jar Jar Binks effect that we got from Star Wars during episode 1. If you ask me, I actually hope that we have a lot more of these moments in the show and I hope that they're done well. Why? Because as much as I love the show, it was pretty heavy at times and it was kind of hard to watch sometimes when you're feeling down. Just to make it clear, I loved the first season. But if they can insert moments of levity like this, it will make it all the better and it will make for better rewatching. Anyway, I'll keep you up to date with any more news from Arcane and until then, peace and have a great day.